Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Jonathan and welcome to Talking NBA. Today I'm going to be talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City Thunder, of course we all know, is in the middle of a rebuild as they have all these picks. Now picks that they did trade recently, some of the picks for 2023 they did trade to the Knicks. We'll get into that a little bit later, but we know them well to be in a rebuild. Now going back, about 10 years ago, or 10 plus years I should say, 10 to 15 years ago, knowing that they drafted Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Kevin Durant, we know that they can make draft selections. So the fact that they had all these picks, and it's the same front office. It's not a different front office whatsoever. It's the same front office. So knowing that they had all these picks, we thought maybe this would be a little dangerous. And you know what? It is. It's starting to be. It's looking crazy in Oklahoma City. They still have all these picks, but then they have all this talent on their team. They got so much depth, it's not even funny. And they're going to have future depth. And now, are they going to find out that they're going to be completely building around Chet Holmgren? Is that what's going to be the plan? I know right now they're building around Shea, but what if Shea never takes that superstar leap? Shea's a star. Shea's an all-star. I fully believe in Shea. But is Shea going to be that number one, or is Shea going to be the best number two? I think that they're going to find out within this next couple of years. Is Chet Holmgren going to be the one that looks like he's going to be the superstar? Well, if Summer League had something to tell you, then yeah. Defensively and offensively, Chet was going to come out and play. But this team is looking crazy because you can say they have their number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 already. And yet they still have future plans. They still have assets. They still have a lot of assets to be able to trade whatever they want to trade. They can draft whoever they want to draft. This team is looking scary in the next 4 years. I can guarantee it. If they do everything right and they don't do it how they lost Kevin Durant in free agency, if they can retain all their players that are going to be meaning something to win a championship, OKC is going to win a championship in the next 5 to 10 years. Book it. Not even just one. I fully believe that they can have a full-out dynasty with the way they're looking right now. Because we know from last year there was about 4 or 5 teams that were rebuilding. We had the Orlando Magic, the Houston Rockets, the OKC Thunder, and the Detroit Pistons. Kings, you can always put the Kings on there, but besides the Kings, those 4 teams. Now, to be honest, in my later video, I'll get into the Detroit Pistons side of it, but they are my favorite rebuild right now. I love the pieces that they have around with each other. But OKC is, let's be honest, is the best rebuild. Just because they still have all these picks. They can go out and make a big move this year. They can make a big move next year. I'm hoping that they do make a big move this year and maybe the trade deadline somewhere around there, because maybe they find out they're the 5th seed. Maybe they're going crazy. And in the Western Conference, if you can show that you're a top 8 seed, man, you might as well do something in the trade deadline. You might as well. You might as well beef up this team. This might as well not. Y'all traded 3 picks to get Ousmane Dieng. You traded up 3 picks to get him. You might as well trade up more to get another quality veteran. If this team is showing you something this season, you do something. Do something big. Don't trade away all your depth. That's why you have all them picks. This is why Oklahoma City, this is what I'm saying, they can be scary, because if a team is starting to rebuild and then they have a team, or they have a player that Oklahoma City wants, OKC can just drown you in picks, drown you in it, and they won't even have to really touch none of their stars. And that's what is crazy about this rebuild. The fact that they have a starting lineup of Shea, Josh Giddey, they have Lou Dort, Chet Holmgren, and then Poku, Darius Baisley, who do you want to say? You can even say, I mean, probably not, but if Favors is still on the team, one of the other vets. Now, I hope not. I hope you still just go with your young guys, and if your young guys run you to the playoffs, then that's what I'm saying, Baisley or Poku. And then you still got a bench. You still got a crazy bench, honestly. This team is by far going to be the scariest to me in about 5 years. Like I said, hopefully they play players like Ousmane Dieng. You still got Ty Jerome. You picked up 2 Jalen Williamses. You got Jeremiah Robinson Earl. You have all these players. All these young players. You know who this is reminding me of? OKC is completely reminding me of the Memphis rebuild. Now, don't get me wrong, Memphis is young. Memphis is, if not younger than Oklahoma City. Memphis is really young, and they made it pretty far as seed-wise regular season, and now they've shown that they're going to be a playoff team for years to come with their star young guard. But that's why I'm making the same comparison, because OKC also has a star young guard around with a bunch of young players around them. But the difference is, we know that Ja Morant for Memphis is going to be their star. He is their star. Now, is Shea going to be their number one? That's the question. Like I pulled up, is Shea going to be that number one, or is it going to go to Chet? Because now it's too early to say Chet is their best player, because it's not. Shea's definitely their best player. Shea by far is going to be their best player this year. But will Chet show, oh, he's going to be a superstar? He's going to be a unicorn. He's going to be a GOAT of this league. If Chet shows you that, and Shea shows you he's a guard, he's an all-star guard, always an all-star, but, never can really put you to that number one level that, oh, I'm gonna will us to the finals type of mode. Well, you're going to find out soon if you're Oklahoma City. But that's a great problem to have, if you ask me. That's an amazing problem to have. You have 2 players. You don't know. You even have a third in Josh Giddey, who you could say is their number 3. Josh Giddey showed a lot last year. Josh Giddey showed me that he's about to do everything, and he's going to do anything that you ask him. And he's a 6'8" guard, and the only thing that he can't really do right now is shoot, but he can pass. He can rebound. He can score for you if you need him to score for you, but he might not be the best shooter. But if Chet comes out shooting, if Shea comes out shooting, then Josh Giddey might not need to shoot. Josh Giddey will be there throwing them dimes to whoever he needs to throw them dimes to, getting them boards whenever he needs to get them boards. That's going to be Josh Giddey's role. And then you still have my boy Lou Dort. Bro, I love Lou Dort. Anytime in 2K, I love trying to get Lou Dort on my team. I love playing with him. I love simulating, because Lou Dort is a hustler. He's a defender. He's a dog. And the fact that you have this dog on your team already, boy, that's what I'm telling you. Watch out. Next few years, the league gonna turn. It's not gonna be the same teams that you see right now. The league gonna turn in the next 5 years. But that's what it's been. A lot lately has been talking about how 5 years things change, and that's why a lot of these teams have been giving up picks. For what? For what? The league gonna change in 5 years. Next thing you know, you're not gonna have the player that you traded for all them picks. Now you're bad, but now you don't have a pick, and now the team that has the picks, they're taking your top overall players. And that's exactly what I'm scared for. Because what if Oklahoma City just shows this year that they're ready to be close to the playoffs, play-in territory? But now they keep having these top picks. These top picks just keep them getting better. And eventually they crack the top 4. And they make it to the second, maybe the conference finals one year. And they have a 3rd, 4th, 5th overall pick. Bro, that would be crazy to me. This sounds like 2K stuff. This sounds like 2K stuff to me. They already have all these players, but they're just going to keep adding on. Or they're going to trade for an actual superstar. And who knows, maybe Chet's already a superstar. Maybe Shea's a superstar. Or they're going to have a big 3. They could do it and still have depth. So, yeah, man. All of this to say that Oklahoma City is... Tune in this year. It's going to be a fun watch. We're going to see how they're going to run them. Is Josh Giddey going to be the one, or is Shea going to be the one? To me, Josh Giddey can't really shoot like that. Shea's a better shooter. I would have Josh run the point, but I'm not an NBA coach. I could be sitting here talking out of my booty right now, which I am. I'm not there in practice. I don't know how they're running a practice. Maybe Shea wants to be the point guard of the team. I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him whatsoever. If he wants to be the point guard, well, he's the best player on the team. Make him the point guard. Let him be the point guard. Josh Giddey just needs to work on his game. Honestly, he needs to work on his game just a little bit more. Hopefully he can become a better shooter. If anything, catch and shoot. If he can have them catch and shoot threes coming, man, this team's going to be dirty. But what I do like is, when Shea's out on the floor, Josh Giddey doesn't need to be on the floor. Shea could be sitting, Josh Giddey's out on the floor. And then it's not even that. You still have Ty Jerome or Trey Mann. You still have decent backups behind you. They're not, the best backups, but they still decent enough backups. This team will show something this year. And I feel like it's going to be a fun year in Oklahoma City. If you're an Oklahoma City fan, it's going to be a fun year for you. It's all about staying injury-free. They do talk about how skinny Chet Holmgren is, and he is very skinny. But is he going to be able to stay injury-free? How about Shea? Shea comes up with these little injuries here or there. Is he going to stay injury-free? That's the only thing to me that's going to derail this season for them. But hey, they've already shown they're willing to sit them down, and hopefully if they're really showing something this year, because you remember that it seemed like the last few years Oklahoma City starts off strong, and then these little injuries come up, and then they're very fast to just, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna sit you down. We want a top pick. Well, the top pick everybody's saying for next year is Victor Wembanyama. He plays Chet Holmgren's position. Do you believe in Chet? Or are you going to go after Victor Wembanyama? I don't think there's a point. I think you should just go ahead and play your hearts out and get whatever pick you got. You already have the players possibly that you might need. You already have all the players, all your quote-unquote stars of the future possibly. I know, you could always get more. And, you won't do the whole, I'm going to trade James Harden for a bag of Pringles. I know you're not going to do that again, but I feel like you should just let them play. And the last thing before we go is I did want to talk about the Ousmane Dieng trade. It shows me that they are willing to trade these picks, because they're willing to trade 3 picks for a prospect, somebody that they know they're going to have to build up. And now Oklahoma City, I feel like they can. It is Oklahoma City. They haven't steered us wrong with developing. They haven't. So if they put a willing to trade him for 3 first-round picks, they're going to develop Ousmane Dieng, and he might be nice in the future. This is what I'm saying. 2025 plus and on. Be scared of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Be scared, everybody. I feel like this is a dynasty coming. But anyway, if y'all enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more. I'll see y'all later. See ya!